Hi everyone. Today I wanted to talk about something that most of you always ask in the comments of my video, and that's where to start transitioning. I have tried to answer this question, but it's ultimately there's no right answer because everyone's in a different position. So I'm going to give you a few anecdotes of people I know who transitioned, and hopefully that'll help you get an idea of where to start. So you know my story. I decided to transition while I was away at college. Not everybody has the means to do so. Some people who contact me are married with children, and they don't understand that, there are people like them out there. My story is that of a young trans person who came to terms with their identity early in life. But if you're married and you have kids and you have to come to terms with that, there's a whole new set of baggage that comes with that I can't really give advice for, right? But, that is one way, and for some of those people, they have to acknowledge that they are going to go at a slower pace than they want to. Maybe their children are going to not acknowledge them as a woman right away or as a man right away. The point is that I'm going to direct you to videos of people who have had these sorts of experiences. I mean, I'd love to inspire you with Caitlyn Jenner's story, but that doesn't really inspire anyone. So I can only really speak for myself. I have some friends within my circle that I know they came to me when they asked, hey, what do I do to get started on hormones? And I can tell you where a local endocrinologist is, and that is what I had to do. I won't tell you how to get the people in your life to tolerate it, how to get the people in your life to support it, because the truth is I don't have the answer for you. But endocrinologist is not that hard to find. People don't realize that there's a large portion of the population, not a large portion, but there's a good amount of people who get born intersexed, and there are people who, after menopause or after healthcare, for whatever reasons, need to get prescribed HRT. And endocrinology has been a service available to anyone since the dawn of time. Not the dawn of time, but you get what I'm saying. So trans people need to be aware that this is a healthcare service that is accessible and not scary. When I first found out what HRT was, I looked it up online and I thought it was like some gender potion. And I have an ex that literally unironically refers to it as gender potion. And that's something I want to talk about too. I mean, some people literally treat it. And I mean, let's face it, my channel is a testament to that. All people care about on my channel, they don't care about the music I've written, the things I have to say. All they care about is how trans I am. And that is, yes, a fault of the algorithm, but it is also just a fault of we see transness as a fetish. We see transness as a transformation, a before after. And that's what fascinates people, but that's also where a lot of the understanding ends, right? Not a lot of people know that when they go on HRT, they're going to have to do it like for the rest of their life as a trans person. Yeah, I'm post SRS, I don't create my own sex hormones, so I have to be on HRT the rest of my life. Now, that's not to say that you have to do that if you transition without getting gender affirming surgery. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of ways to transition in between. Like, some people don't immediately start on hormones. If you see your endocrinologist and you're a young trans person, chances are they're going to talk to you about puberty suppressants before they talk to you about HRT. I've talked about this at length on my channel, but there are no irreversible side effects of these suppressants, and they're not recommended to be on long term. But that's the thing. When you're coming to terms with your trans identity, there's no timeline that you want to have to follow, right? People look at my timeline online, and I think sometimes it can be threatening because you're like, well, I don't know if I can either live up to that, say, or follow that, or even just maybe I don't want that, right? Well, that's the thing. We see so little trans representation that people think that they need to either imitate or, they're a loser. And I just want to remind people to go at their own pace. I shared on Twitter a picture the other day. You are trans enough. And that is because I want to be the person that I needed 10 years ago, the person that heard from people online that because I was wearing short hair and not doing anything about my voice, that I was making trans women look bad. Yeah, that's what people were telling me. And I had to learn eventually to not internalize voices like that. You know what I mean? You are trans enough. That's the voice I want people to internalize. I want people to internalize the idea that it's okay to not be ready to go on hormones, There's a time when I thought it was a little weird for somebody to say, I am a trans man, but then only wear makeup and dresses and never transition medically, right? I thought that was weird. And there are some people who still take the piss out of that. It's just like, I don't know what a Tumblr gender is. But the truth is that who am I and who is anybody to tell anybody to do what they like. I'm not going to tell anyone what to do. That's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not going to lie. If you are a trans man and you dress as a woman, be prepared to be misgendered, right? I'm not going to say you deserve it, but be prepared for it. That being said, do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. And that's what I want this video to be, you know? I know that not everybody has access to hormones. There was a whole argument in the trans community about trans medicalism. Do you need hormones to transition? And the truth is that there's a lot of people online who spout this crap. And they say you need hormones to transition. And the truth is that I've been on hormones for 7 years, and I'm about as real as I'm going to get. And there are still people who every day tell me how much of a man I am. So if that's not proof to you that you don't need hormones to transition, I don't know what is. Now, will I tell you hormones have helped me a lot? Yes. To me, it's been like medicating something. You know, I had to medicate my depression. I had to medicate my dysphoria. Medication is there to alleviate symptoms. It's there to help you. And you don't have to take it if you don't want to. But that's the thing. Why wouldn't I recommend it? I don't get called a man in person anymore. I just get called a man by TERFs online. And I don't care about that. But, like, it's easy to say I don't care about that. But you have to realize that, like, everybody to a degree is going to internalize that, right? And every trans person I know has had some pretty horrible things said about them. And at some point or another has said horrible things to themselves. I remember this one person on my videos was like, oh, so you're saying that trans people are mentally ill? Interesting. It's like, yeah, buddy. I don't know a single trans person that isn't proudly mentally ill. Because, newsflash, it's not exactly fun being trans. Like, where do these people live? Do you think you can just transition and have people leave you alone? And, like, mental illness doesn't mean you're whacked out of your skull. And that's what these people don't get. You know, there needs to be less of a stigma around the term mentally ill. Because I am unafraid to say that I am mentally ill. But the difference is that it's not my transness that is my medical problem. And by the way, it's no longer a mental illness, bud. Get with the times, alright? Last century, bro. But that's the thing, right? Wear your badge. Represent. That's what I want to say in this video. I can't tell you where your specific local endocrinologist is. What I can tell you is what I did and what I saw other people do. And a lot of people followed in my footsteps, you know? And I will put links down below to videos of other trans creators that I really am inspired by, I respect a lot, and I hope that you can learn from other people's story. When I was young and I looked up what being trans was, it scared me. And I wanna destigmatize it, because I truly do think that more and more people are realizing that they don't want to play between boy or girl. You know, there's so much stuff that's pointlessly gendered, and it's honestly hilarious. A friend of mine was showing me this hilarious video, and it was like wheels or heels, and it's like this gender reveal party's obsession with, like, it's just like these crazy, like, cakes where on one side of the cake it's a boy and he's wearing, like, it's like football, and the other side is like ballet slippers, because, you know, that's what girls do and this is what boys do. And I'm sorry, but, like, the gender reveal parties that are violent and kill people, and there have been so many gender reveal parties that cause fires. Anyway, the point is that when everyone's like, trans people are so obsessed with gender, it's like, yeah, I don't think we're the ones burning down the country, burninating the countryside like the gender reveal parties are. Like, get it together. I wouldn't do that if I were you, Karen. I guess what I'm trying to say with this video is, if you are older and you are just now coming to terms with your transition and you don't want to have to pass at work, don't. There are people who go on hormones for years before they try to pass. I did that, you know? And I was starting to pass before I was ready to start, like, trying to go full time. But that's the thing, right? You can't rush yourself. And if you do rush yourself, it's going to be traumatic. There are people who go in over their head with their transition, and then they get something called transition fatigue. I'd love to link some resources below on what transition fatigue is and what it can do. And essentially, I believe it's something that I experienced when I first started my channel, because all I was doing on the channel was talking about my transness, and I was talking about nothing else. And that's bound to make anybody experience fatigue, let alone transition fatigue. I mean, the point is that you don't want to make your personality one thing, right? Well, it's kind of hard to do that when you're trans, isn't it? And I guess I'm a testament to that, but if you're interested in any of my other content, it'd be great to link that down below and have all of you click, because the truth is that nobody else is interested in anything about me other than my transness. That's not true. Nobody is the wrong word. I have many fans and they reach out to me and I appreciate them very much, but on a whole, right, if you look at my analytics, all of my videos that do well are about being trans. And that's okay, right? That's you know, some people get famous doing one thing and they don't understand why they're not famous while not doing that thing anymore. And it's like, listen, girl, like, this is what you signed up for. I started my channel being trans. Now, that is what YouTube wants me to continue to be. So I might as well continue to represent, right? However, if you want to see my videos of me doing things that aren't being trans, I'll link them down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you subscribe, like, comment, share this with your friends, and hit that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.